Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rosa, and welcome to episode 93 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. The show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe on your favorite and leave a review. Xboxin10.com, no numbers, is your quick source for links to all of our podcast destinations and social media profiles, which you can follow at Xboxin10. To start, let's talk game releases. The big game out last week was Monster Jam Steel Titans 2, and the games coming out this week include Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game for Neverwinter Sharandar, Doodle Devil 3 Evolution, Heaven Dust, Self Where's My Father, and Journey of the Broken Circle. Some new games have been announced coming to Xbox Game Pass, and they include the following. These are available now, which are Madden NFL 21 on console, Football Manager 2021 on PC, Football Manager 2021 Xbox Edition on console and PC, and NBA 2K21 on cloud and console. Coming in March is Star Wars Squadrons on console, and NHL 21 console edition. Now on to last week's biggest news stories, and we have 7 to cover this week. Number 1, Xbox marketing boss says nothing coming soon on major game announcement events. Jordan Allman at IGN writes, after rumors that Elden Ring would be shown at an Xbox event this month, Xbox marketing boss Aaron Greenberg has said that there is, quote, nothing coming soon, end quote, with regards to Xbox events that would, quote, feature game announcements or world premieres like this, end quote. Greenberg made comments on Twitter while rebuffing reports that claimed a new trailer for Elden Ring, the hotly anticipated collaboration between From Software and George R.R. Martin, would be showcased during a rumored March 23rd Microsoft event. Fans have been clamoring for more Elden Ring information to follow up on the tantalizing clip shown during E3 2019. Quote, just to set expectations, this is not happening, end quote, Greenberg said before going on to explain that while, quote, there are always things we have in the works, end quote, there are no events coming soon that would feature world premieres or game announcements of a similar caliber. This suggests that we won't see a big Microsoft event for some time. Microsoft reporter Paul Thurrott has previously made the claim that an Xbox event would be held on March 23rd. We hadn't touched on these rumors over the past few weeks in the show as they have been swirling in the games world, as they didn't really see any concrete rumors, and Aaron Greenberg has now laid haste to these claims. At this point, everyone's thinking that they will have an Xbox event in March given the closure of the Bethesda deal, but I hope they hold all their guns to a big E3 level event around the same time every year like they do in June. Now with Bethesda, they could certainly have a lot to show, and for all the Elden Ring fans clamoring for something more, I'm sure we'll see it at whatever the Xbox event is next, but it seems like it won't be in March. Number 2. 343 Industries hides Halo 5 audio log in latest blog post. Vlad Mizanko at The Gamer writes, the Halo Infinite dev team's recent update apparently has a hidden message for fans of the series. In a brief showcase, one Redditor noticed something fishy and extracted an audio log from Halo 5, containing a dialogue between major characters from the previous entry. 343 Industries held another Inside Infinite installment recently, showcasing development progress and sharing more intel on Halo Infinite's new setting, Zeta Halo. However, what's most interesting is that 343 seems to have placed a secret audio log in the post that could easily be missed. In a brief clip, Master Chief and Dr. Halsey discuss a new threat from Cortana. Master Chief asks about the plan while Dr. Halsey points out that everyone is going into survival mode again. Presumably, this dialogue takes place only a bit after Halo 5's ending. While nothing of great importance can be extracted from this dialogue, fans of the Halo series perceive this twist as a direct hint to what Halo Infinite's story will be about. Originally, 343 Industries indicated Halo Infinite would be something of a soft reboot for the franchise, with little to no connections to Halo 5 Guardians at all. With this new tease, players are now expecting Infinite to develop events depicted in Halo 5 for better or worse. Nothing major here, but for the hardcore Halo fans, it is a really interesting thing that 343 is hiding stuff in their Inside Infinite blog posts. Everyone will be on red alert now going forward with all their showcases. Number 3, Microsoft looking into unresponsive issues affecting some Xbox wireless controllers. Stephanie Nunnally at VG247 writes, Microsoft is aware of unresponsive issues affecting some Xbox wireless controllers and is looking into a fix. There are apparently some issues with the newest version of the Xbox wireless controller, released alongside the launch of the Series X and S. Various users have reported the controller is unresponsive when pressing buttons on the controller. The issue has been reported when using the controller on both consoles and on PC. Luckily, Microsoft is aware of the issue and is looking into it, but a time frame was not provided. Quote, at Microsoft, we put all of our products through rigorous quality assurance testing and are committed to providing customers with an unparalleled gaming experience, and quote, Microsoft told the Loadout. Quote, we are aware some players may be experiencing unresponsiveness with their new Xbox wireless controllers, and our teams are actively working on a solution. For For the best experience, we encourage customers to visit Xbox support for assistance, end quote. This is a call to anyone who has been experiencing problems with their new controllers. Fortunately, I haven't been using the new controller as I have the Elite Series 2 controller. However, with that controller, I did have to send it in as I started to get joystick drift and they had to repair it for me. Part of a bigger deal where they extended the warranty due to an issue with their controllers. Certainly none of this is good press, but at least they're looking into solutions to fix it. Number 4, Marvel's Avengers XP grind is about to get even slower for some reason. Austin Goslin at Polygon writes, Marvel's Avengers, the action role-playing game from Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix, is finally coming to current-gen consoles on March 18th, but it's also getting another change. After that date, it's going to take even longer to reach the game's max character level because the developer is increasing the XP requirement. According to the developer, the quick level ups and rapid XP gain was something it thought it could be confusing for new players, in part because each level required about the same amount of XP to progress through rather than requiring more subsequent levels. Quote, this has led to pacing issues such as skill points currently being reworked too fast, which may be confusing and overwhelming to newer players. We want each decision to invest in a skill or heroic to be more meaningful, end quote, the developer said. To help reduce the amount of progress players can make quickly, the XP needed to advance in levels later in the game is being increased starting at character level 25. To conclude the post, the developer recommends that anyone who has a character that isn't already level 50 already, level them quickly before the change takes effect. Of course, this means that players starting fresh on PS5 or Series X will be forced into the new, slower leveling system. One thing that's not entirely clear is why this change was necessary at all. Not starting the XP increase until level 25 means that new players might still get confused on skills. More importantly, the slog of leveling a character all the way to level 50 was already one of the slowest, grindiest parts of Marvel's Avengers. Making that process even more tedious, especially for new players, is confusing to say the least. As I've stated on the show before, I've stayed far away from Marvel's Avengers. I have noted that I've been intrigued to check it out once it comes to next-gen consoles, but now seeing this news, and especially seeing the hardcore fans' outcry about it, does not give me any more reasons for me to play this game. Maybe if it comes to Game Pass, or if I get it on a really good deal, I'll check it out, but this just seems like another series of bad decisions on a game with a troubled history. Number 5, Need for Speed delayed to focus on next Battlefield, EA confirms. Wesley LeBlanc at IGN writes, EA has shifted Criterion Games off its current Need for Speed project to help EA DICE with the development on the next Battlefield game. This game, which is currently untitled, is expected to release this fall on the PS5 and Series X, and seems DICE needed some extra help getting the game ready for that release, according to a new report from Polygon. EA insists that Criterion Games will return to development of its Need for Speed title in 2022 though. EA made the call to have Criterion work with DICE on the next Battlefield project due to pandemic-related working conditions and because of the fact that following the Codemasters acquisition made last month, EA will have at least one racing game released this year, likely its annual Formula 1 title. EA Chief Studios Officer Laura Millay told Polygon that neither the Battlefield franchise or the Need for Speed franchise are in trouble. I'm very excited to see what the next Battlefield can do, and it seems like they're beefing up to make it the best game they can this year if it can release on time. I'm not a big Need for Speed fan. I played the games like Hot Pursuit 2 back in the day. I'm more of a Burnout fan, but that franchise has been laid to rest, unfortunately. Number 6, The Division 2 to get a game mode entirely new to the franchise late 2021. Wesley Impule at Eurogamer writes, The Division 2 will get a game mode entirely new to the franchise in its next major update currently slated for late 2021. Ubisoft Massive said it's looking at new ways for players to progress their agent, quote, with an emphasis on increasing build variety and viability, end quote. This new update is still in the early stages of development. Ubisoft Massive cautioned and will take several months to complete, so it's due out late 2021 at the earliest. Quote, we will be taking time to make sure we bring a meaningful change to the game, end quote, Ubisoft Massive said in a blog post. In the meantime, Ubisoft Massive will rerun previous seasons released during the Division 2's second year, so the next season, Season 5, will be a rerun of Season 2. Ubisoft Massive said that this will give players the chance to collect rewards and collectibles previously missed. It's interesting to see the Ubisoft put more resources into the Division 2. This is clearly because Ubisoft Massive is working on an Avatar game and an open-world Star Wars game, so I don't expect us to see the Division 3 for a very long time. And number 7, GTA 5 Xbox Series XS release won't just be a simple port. Sean Carey at True Achievements writes, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has discussed the company's strategy for remastering older titles from its back catalog, and also believes that Rockstar wouldn't be able to deliver a great experience with the upcoming next-gen Grand Theft Auto 5 re-release if it were to be just a simple port. Speaking at the Morgan Stanley Technology Media and Telecom Conference via VGC, Zelnick was asked about whether remastering older games would be a more significant part of Take-Two's company's strategy in the future. Quote, I'm not sure there'll be a bigger part of the strategy, Zelnick said. Remastering has always been a part of the strategy we've done differently than the competition. We don't just port titles over, we actually take the time to do the very best job we can by making the title different for the new release, for the new technology that we're launching it on, end quote. This is intriguing to see what GTA 5 will do with the power of the next-gen consoles. As we know, GTA 5 somehow released on the 360 generation, and when it came over to Xbox One, they put a first-person perspective mode in it that you can play the entire game throughout. It was really cool, and I can't wait to see what they could do with the power of the Xbox Series X and S behind it. As always, we end our show with a fun fact about Xbox, and this one we're going to dive deeper into the Halo lore. Credit to Hollander Cooper at Games Radar. In the future, humanity spread out and colonized the galaxy. Humanity's reliance on Earth ends by 2080 in the Halo universe as the planet's inhabitants begin to spread around the Sol system. But this move isn't a painless one, and different political groups rise up to make life difficult for the humans, who are new to this whole flying around space and making colonies thing. In order to battle these foes from within, the world's governments were forced to beef up their military and wage war on their own people. This obviously didn't go all that well, and though it technically squashed these rebellions, the cost was tremendous. Now low on food and high in a massive useless military, humanity was looking for better solutions. We're going to be diving deeper into the Halo lore in our lead up to Halo Infinite here on the show, and I'm learning a bunch of fun facts myself about the universe. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like the show, please subscribe on your favorite podcast service, share it with your friends, leave a review, and follow on all social media at Xbox in 10. This past week, I played zombies with my friends, trying the new Outbreak mode, which was okay, and the new map on Vietnam, which I very much enjoyed, as I slowly go through this Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic replay that I'm doing right now. My name is Brandon Rosa. You can follow me on Xbox at Brosa93. I hope you all have a great week, stay safe, and keep on gaming.